Welcome, Spraylock Nation, to another glorious day here in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Where?
I don't know. We don't even know what studio we're in. We'll try that again. Chattanooga, Tennessee. I don't know what was going on. My mouth did not go as fast as my brain did, which is unfortunate some days.
Yes.
I don't know. It was raining this morning. We had a thunderstorm watch. I have no idea. My brain checked out and went, bye. Weekend coming up.
Yes.
And vacation week coming up.
Yes. Yeah, we're...
But by the time this rolls, we'll be past it.
Yeah, that's true. But 4th of July is a special holiday for us here.
Yes.
As an American company, we like to celebrate Independence Day.
Independently of each other.
Yeah.
On vacation.
So what are we talking about today, Joshua?
Amorfa.
Amorfa.
You know that product that we've kind of kept hidden? We've alluded to a few times, but I guess it's time to actually let the cat out of the bag, so to speak, and really talk about it and kind of let our listeners know what it is and how it can work for them.
Sure. We get that question, or I do out in the field quite often, of, hey, you guys have something that'll go in the load?
Actually, I get quite a bit too, and I'm like, we do, but we don't really market it a whole lot, but it's time to get it out there.
It is, and it really does some great stuff for concrete. And if you could take us through, let's say someone calls you up on the phone, Joshua, talk to the tech department, they call you up and they say, hey Josh, you know, I've got some concrete, but I really am not going to be able to spray it. I would really like to help the concrete in some way. How would we start examining what they're doing and seeing if we can be of assistance?
Well, with anything, what exactly are you looking for? So, you know, if you're looking for just a product that's going to help your concrete durability all overall, we got that. That Amorfa was going to do it. It does one thing. It's going to reduce the permeability. Yep. And as we've discussed many times over, when your permeability gets reduced in your concrete, your durability is going to go up. So it's going to be the same thing. But I mean, I know you're marketing this thing with some people and with your ready mix, you know, background. Just out of curiosity, from my standpoint, I know, but you know, maybe they want to know is, what will this Amorfa do for the producer?
Yeah, so the biggest thing for me is it's able to give you durable concrete at quote unquote normal powder content. So if you are looking at a certain permeability that you got to hit a spec, compressive strength only needs to be 4,000 psi, but because of that permeability spec, you're having to up your powder content to near 7, 8, 9,000 type psi. The Amorfa can help.
Well, you said permeability, and I've looked at a lot of specs, and not all of them obviously, but when you say permeability, is it really truly a permeability reduction, or are you talking about other means of measuring it, such as chloride diffusion rates or something else? So really, what are you looking at doing? It
could be specified as any and all the above, including rapid chloride. You know, some folks will specify a rapid chloride Coulomb value, but it really depends on how the spec is written, what it's written for. But yes, chloride migration in a non-steady state like the NT492 Nord test method is a great way to measure, but also chloride ponding is another great way to measure, and we see really nice reductions with the Amorfa additive on those permeability numbers. Now, if you're looking for something that's absolutely watertight, then we're going to recommend spray applied.
So from your experience and what you played in the field and what you've seen in the lab too, and what we've seen in our lab, for the finishing guy, you know, what is he going to see? I mean, because, you know, while ours is an additive, there's other admixtures that can change the way the concrete moves, bleeds, feels, becomes sticky, other things else.
Yes.
You know, when you put Amorfa in the mix, the finisher, who's the guy putting it on the ground, who's going to be the one praising things or yelling about things, what would he expect to see?
He will expect to see a very different experience than other permeability adjusting materials like silica fume or something. You're not going to have a sticky mix. Right. It's not going to set drastically different than anything else. It's going to set normally. It's also going to provide a certain amount of added workability. Okay. So those are all positives. You're hitting durability numbers or permeability numbers with a product that is not going to introduce that stickiness that so many of those permeability reducing additives, PRAs, PRAHs can introduced into a concrete mix.
Okay, so one other thing, because for finishers, that bleed water matters, and knowing when it's coming. So we know some air entrainments have delayed that bleed water coming to the top because it's stopping that connectivity of those bleed water channels. Are we changing the bleed with this product?
Very minimally, if at all. And I don't want to say absolutely no, because I know that we are reducing capillary void structure size.
Right.
There is probably some slight bleed, but we haven't measured anything.
Well, I'm not talking about slight bleed differences, but I'm talking about like delay and timing. There are some things that go into mix that we know delays
Yes.
the bleed coming up, and we know that some finishers have ran into, they thought it was done
Yes.
when it wasn't, but we're not seeing that
We're not
anymore.
seeing that at
And
all.
that's really what I was
anymore.
wanting to get to.
Yeah, because we all have run into various things that cause that top to dry out quicker, especially silica fume is one of those things that, for whatever reason, tends to struggle on the plastic shrinkage side of things. We haven't seen that with the Amorfa at all. What we do see is some increased workability. We see some great numbers when it comes to permeability reduction, even under hydrostatic pressure. To a GC, you're going to see potentially an easier pumping mix. We see reduced pump pressures when the Amorfa's in the concrete. You're going to get to offer an owner a concrete that is going to look good, last longer, and it's going to be a much more durable concrete.
So for the GCs who are actually looking for quality, longevity, durability, and giving that added benefit to the owner of, hey, Mr. Owner, your building's going to last X amount longer.
Yeah, you're investing a small amount of money on the front end to get a huge bang for your buck as far as life cycle of the structure and sustainability. That's one way to look at it. When we talk about being able to accomplish durable concrete with normal strength concrete mixes, one of the things that we're talking about is being able to save some of that powder content, which we know, brings with it some additional greenhouse gas loads. So we're able to take a normal concrete mix and really turn it into a high performing.
Right. Well, but the thing is, you can do locally sourced seeds, but when you can make a concrete structure last longer
Yes.
than what it was going to, whether it be 5 years or 50 years,
Yes.
you've now reduced that carbon footprint because you're not replacing that as quickly.
Absolutely.
And that is, in many ways, the ultimate sustainability.
Yes. For me, it is if we can make our structures last longer, then just think about all of the effort, money, and greenhouse gases you're saving.
One last question.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of concrete can this help?
It's a great question, and the answer is if it's Portland cement concrete, then it's going to help it.
So we're talking about 3,000, 4,000, up to 10,000, 15,000 PSI concrete. We're
Yes.
talking about RCC, SCC,
Yes.
anything that you can
Yes.
think of. So architectural concrete,
Yes.
precast concrete of other natures.
Yes.
So everything that's,
All of those things. Yes. The product will make it better. It's an additive that can really bring the performance of any concrete to its maximum. You're going to get a really good concrete job using Amorfa.
So if you got any questions, reach out to myself or Brent. Like, subscribe, and hit us up. We'll be able to, one more time, we'll try this. Apparently, I'm just going to struggle today with words.
Yes, English, how you say.
Some days, apparently, I can't say that. But if there's anything we can help you with, please reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to help you out. Thank you.